Zoom. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for your time here on the program.
Thank you.
Great. First off, where did you see the interview, and what was your initial reaction to what you had seen?
Thank you very much. I was flabbergasted when I listened to it, and later on I played it, and I kind of imagined the level of membership responsibility burden on all of us as members of the party who have joined freely. And nobody was under any collusion to join the New Patriotic Party. You could have joined any party, but we chose to join the New Patriotic Party. And it's a party of rules. Our constitution puts a burden on us to behave in a certain way, conduct our affairs in a certain way, such that we don't bring through our actions and inactions the name of the party into disrepute or public ridicule. And this is provided for in our Constitution and Article 3, the duties of members. And so Prof Frimpong Boateng is fully aware. I have no inclination to think that he doesn't know that as a member of the party, he shouldn't speak in those terms, and that his conduct should not be one that brings the party's name into disrepute. But yet he did it. And so I think that for whatever it is worth, would give him, I think the Disciplinary Committee would give him occasion to explain the basis for why he made those assertions. And that is the import of the letter issued by the General Secretary, which is stating that a process will commence, which will commence with a petition to a National Disciplinary Committee, given his profile and the involvement of the General Secretary by the issuance of this letter.
Right.
Petition will be submitted to a National Disciplinary Committee for them to interrogate the matter further with Prof Boateng to see whether indeed what we see on the face of it as a breach of the Constitution by a member of the party, the committee would agree and recommend the appropriate sanctions.
Right. So, Mr. Ahiagbah, you are now, if I heard you right, you're now going to call him to meet the party?
Yes. So our Constitution provides for that. Nobody can issue a letter, be it General Secretary or Chairman or whoever of the party cannot issue a letter to remove or expel anybody from the party. That is only subject to a disciplinary procedure and a recommendation of that committee, be it constituency, region, or national committee, having sat on the matter and make a recommendation. It's only at that point that the recommendation will be implemented. So what the letter intended to communicate is to signal that that process will commence. And in due course, once the petition goes to the National Disciplinary Committee, Prof Boateng will be invited, and he will be given a full hearing, and he can explain what he meant by those, and rather explain himself or confirm that what he said is exactly what he intended to say, and then the committee then will make its recommendation to the National Executive Committee for action.
Right.
But let me just add here quickly that.
Okay. Now, I was just going to say that I needed some clarity.
That's not the end of it.
On that.
If after a National Disciplinary Committee.
Okay. Mr. Ahiagbah, I am sorry. I think there's a bit of delay in the conversation, but I'm just saying that I asked that for clarity because of the final paragraph of the statement that says that what he's done is highly reprehensible and inimical to the values of the party, and that the processes has begun. So I was thinking that is he not supposed to meet the party?
There seems to be some challenge in your line.
Yes. So I am saying that is he not supposed to have met the party first before the issuance of this statement, or saying that you have begun the processes to, have that expulsion as we're talking about now?
Yeah. So what this means essentially is that the notice as issued by the General Secretary is essentially to signal for the comfort of all members of the party that the party has taken note of what was said and that will take action. The action that will be taken is the disciplinary procedure spelled out in Article 4 of our Constitution. And so that process will unfold. And Prof Frimpong Boateng then will have a day before that committee. The committee has 21 days to terminate its hearing and then recommend a course of action recommend a course of action, which may be, among other things, to expel the professor from the membership of the party, or recommend any other course of action based on the interaction, the confirmation or the disconfirmation of the statements that we all have seen and you've played on TV by Professor Frimpong Boateng. So when that happens, that's the only point that a direct statement indicating his expulsion from the party can be occasioned. And I was going to add earlier that in the event that a National Disciplinary Committee makes a recommendation to the effect that perhaps he be expelled from the party, and he does not agree with that recommendation, Professor Frimpong Boateng has a recourse to petition National Council, who that National Council has a final authority in determining the matter for redress. So he has avenues to address the matter. But for me, what I see listening to the statement is that he doesn't even recognize that he's a member of the party, because in some of the statement he's saying that when they elected their flag bearer in 2023, referring to us as they, which excludes himself, which is most unfortunate, because for nothing at all, Professor Frimpong Boateng has had occasion to serve on the platform of the New Patriotic Party as minister and in many other capacities during the Akufo-Addo administration. The least he could have done is to be grateful to a party that has accorded him such a prestigious opportunity to serve the good people of our country. So I am saddened by the turn of events with Professor Frimpong Boateng, with his distinguished service to country. I expected that he would know better and not to have conducted himself in that manner. But that said, it is not conclusive. The committee will sit on the matter and then we'll understand fully what the next course of action would be in relation to this interview.
Right. I appreciate that you've tried explaining what the lector actually meant to convey in terms of the message, but with how it came out, it looked like everything has been done, and then he's just going to be, expelled from the party. As we have seen with some others, like Atuasafo and others, they were referred to the disciplinary committee first. That was the statement that came out. But with this, it says that NPP initiates processes to expel Professor Kwamna Frimpong Boateng from the party. So it meant, or it conveyed the message as though he's gone. He is being taken out without any hearing.
No, thank you for the opportunity to clarify. There is nobody in our party who can issue a letter to remove anybody from the party unless it's done in adherence to Article 4 of our Constitution, which will accord the person a full hearing and a determination. Following that, then such a decision can be made. But until that, nobody. And I don't think that that's what the General Secretary said. In fact, initiate a process is implied in that. Article 4 proceedings are implied in that statement, saying will initiate process to expel him from the party.
Right. For you as a director of communications for the party, when was the last time you met Professor Frimpong Boateng, and when was the last time he engaged in any activities with the party?
Also, a very interesting question. I don't remember. I don't remember. It's a long time ago, really. But he's someone that you and I are aware served this party,
right?
Served the government under His Excellency His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the first term. In the second term, however, he wasn't there. But we know what he has contributed. The the disagreement surrounding his letter that was famously written, or reports that was written. So he's someone who is known, and I am happy for the opportunity given him to serve our country. And then, as a member of the party, the only disappointment I have is his comment, because these comments they have potential for long-term effect on the party, where we are trying hard, especially now that we are confronted with an election on the 31st. The least you expect is a leading member such as Professor Frimpong Boateng to come and throw this wrench in the mix of things, suggesting that the previous presidential primary was not as transparent as ought to be. I think that is a discredited position. People's account of that 2023 presidential primary is clear for everybody to see that it was transparent. There wasn't any arm twisting, as he sought to imply. And then, especially going into this, saying something like that really created difficulty for people going into this election. I think that's most regrettable. But it is one that history would record kindly, that he served his country well, except that this will be a blot. The way he's serving his party will be a blot on that distinguished record.
Right. So it means that he did not partake in the NDC delegates conference, and also the amendment. So he didn't. I mean, sorry, I beg your pardon, NPP. He did not.
That's okay. I understand what.
No, of course.
I understand what you meant. Yes.
Yes. So he didn't contribute to any of the amendments. Everything. He's not been doing that for a while.
Not that I know.
Right.
Not that I know.
Okay.
Not that I know. And his responses there gives you a clue how he sees the party. There's obviously in that response evidence of pain, evidence of hurt. Where that hurt comes from, where that pain comes from, I don't know. But I can tell you that I'm not happy about every single thing the party has done, every single decision that has been made. But it is not basis for me to besmirch the good name of the party, the manner he's doing. We are voluntarily members of the party. We can disagree, but not in a manner that brings the party's name into disrepute. Those matters can be addressed at the appropriate quarters, but not in the public space as he has done.
And I was coming to that because we've seen a number of personalities from the party who, when are not happy about certain things happening, go into the public space and say a number of things. So I was just going to ask that for the party, what's the appropriate ways for people to pour out their grievances or any hurt, as you're mentioning in this case for Professor Frimpong Boateng?
Oh, yeah, I mean, so assuming that there is something that has happened that I'm not happy about, there are internal mechanisms to address that. If I'm a serving officer of the party, I can bring it to a constituency executive meeting, regional executive meeting. I can write to the secretary if it's in the case of a constituency or region. I can write to the general secretary to make known my grievances. So there are procedures where you can address that, and have many forums within the party that one can address those concerns. And so to the extent that you would sidestep all those administrative processes and then come public to discuss that, the Constitution anticipated that. And that's why it says that you cannot undertake to bring the party's name into disrepute by your actions and inactions. But if you have any concern, you address them internally. And those internal mechanisms are sufficient to deal with them. And if you still are not happy, you have a recourse to continue to be a member of the party or not to be a member of the party. At that point, you can write to be, to not be a member again, to resign from the party. That is also provided for. But to be a member and go and contravene the Constitution, that is liable for disciplinary action. And that's what we are seeing here. So I will urge everyone to use internal mechanisms to address grievances, because after all, we are a collection of people. We are not infallible. we are subject to stepping on each other's toes. And I've told you my own instance where I'm not 100% happy about many things, but it doesn't give me the leeway to go out there and misconduct myself
Mr.
such
Ahiagbah,
that
what are you not happy about?
I
About
go
your own
against the
party?
provisions or the guidance of the Constitution. So everybody should be advised. No, well, I'll be the next person whose letter you read tomorrow if I answer your question.
Does this put the NPP in bad light that there seem not to be a united front in the party?
Not at all. Not at all. What I'm implying there is that we are a human institution, just like in this country. This morning, in your studios, there are two individuals who are Ghanaians. One, my brother, Honorable Isaac Boamanyako, and my good friend Hamza Sweeney. They were there. They're all Ghanaians. They talk to you, and you can hear that they are all not happy about one thing or the other. But they will not, on the basis of their unhappiness, denounce Ghana or say things that will be damaging to the international reputation of the country. They will make their disagreements known in ways that are constructive and ensure for remedial actions to be taken. So when I say that as a member, I'm not happy about certain things, I'm just essentially implying that as a human institution, there are things that you will not be happy about. And definitely our Constitution provided for those things and say that there are internal mechanisms to address those. So I will leverage internal mechanisms to address those grievances. That's how we build institutions. That's how we build parties. You understand? And so through that, all the internal discomforts will be addressed. We are a party that is working to ensure that we'll capture power in 2028. We can do so only with unity. And conduct such as this, and conduct that makes people feel that their feelings are superior to the collective feeling of the party, are not helpful. And those are the ones that we are pointing to say that notwithstanding that those hurts may exist, you have to find constructive means, leverage the internal processes to address them if ever you have some discomfort. It doesn't mean that the NPP is in crisis at all. It just means that the NPP is a human institution like the other political parties, the NDC. It's only a matter of time. You see the kind of time bomb the NDC is sitting on, but it doesn't mean that members of the NDC will go on the streets and begin to yell that to the hearing of everyone. They will deal with it in-house. That's what we're encouraging. We've always been a party of discipline, and we, as a human institution, we know that people will have reason to be unhappy, and therefore we have processes internally for them to address those. So my pleading is that people should look at this instance and learn and be more internally driven if they have any concerns to address them.
Just a final one. There are some people who believe that this is just the prof's first probably comment in the space about the party, but there are some other personalities in the party who keep lashing out at others in the party. You know them, and you've called them to meet the disciplinary committee and all of that. But this one, you just go ahead and say processes to expel. But all of those people, personalities are still there. What has happened with them? What would you say to that?
I'm not sure who are saying, the people who are saying
you should check. You should check. When the statement came out, you should see the comments on social media.
Oh, unfortunately, I haven't looked at those statements. But be as it may, and if people have concerns, it is not do it and let's see situation, right? As a member of the party, if there are happenings in the party that you're not happy about, you can petition that behavior. So if I believe that you are a member of our party and your conduct on Metro TV is bringing the party's name to disrepute, and nobody is saying anything about it because people perceive that you are a friend of that person or a son of that person, I, as a member of the party, have a duty to petition, if it's in the case of a constituency or region, to petition the appropriate disciplinary body to deal with that matter. So
Right.
if a member of the party has a concern that somebody is not conducting themselves appropriately, by all means, they should petition and have the party structure work to deal with those concerns. But as far as I am concerned, I'm not aware of any attempt to shield anybody and punish others. The attempt is
Right.
to ensure internal discipline, internal cohesion. And so if people have concern, they should address it, they should petition, and let's build a united NPP to capture power in 2028.
Right. I'm sure you also try and sort out some of the things you don't like about the party. Richard Ahiagbah, thank you very much always for speaking to us here on Metro TV.
You're very tempting. You're very tempting.
I don't wish you speak, but you say your letter will be next, so we'll keep it at that. We'll keep it like that. Thank you very much for your time, Richard Ahiagbah.
Well, yeah, thank you.
He's Director of Communications for the New Patriotic